As panic begins to set in on Hasbro, you can almost hear the players cheering in the background. Before we start off today's video, I want you, the player who's watching me right now, to know you won. No matter what happens from here, you, the player, you won. And congratulations, it's a victory well earned. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. We are less than 500 subscribers away from hitting 15,000 subs, and thanks again to each and every one of you who is hitting that subscribe button and helping my channel grow and reach new viewership. It's epic. Thanks again. To my regular viewers who are tuning in each and every day, I couldn't be here without you. Of course, you guys get a big shout out and thank you. And to all the patrons who support this channel, my YouTube membership members who are backing me, guys, thanks again to each and every one of you. You'll never know how much it means to be here talking to you each and every day. Now let's get this party started. On December 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Hasbro is having a conference call. And yes, I know you probably saw this on another video, and yet you're still here because there's more to unpack than what you probably saw in some of the other videos. And I work all day. I can't help myself, guys. Excuse me for having to get things done around here. I got to make the nachos and cheese. You got to walk the dog. And when you don't get home till midnight, you can miss some things. So, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself there. This is a big thing. And I understand I'm not doing tons of takes to make this look all professional, but I think a more raw view of this is more important for you guys to understand how I'm feeling. And that is jubilation, excitement, because I know what I'm going to get, but I also understand what I'm not going to get. Do you know why they schedule an unscheduled conference call? It's to deliver the bad news. Let me say that again. It's usually to deliver the bad news. Now, what bad news could they have to pass along to their investors? Why would they do this call? And by the way, I am registered to be there. I am going to be listening to this. I'll be watching the whole thing, and I'll see if I can get some questions in there. But why would you schedule that call? What could it be? Could it be maybe things aren't going as well as planned? Maybe the ship hit an iceberg of price-sensitive players who are not going to take it anymore and maybe demand a little better accountability from the company making the game that we love to play? I think that sounds about right, don't you? Well, there you go. This is very interesting. The only time you usually schedule an call like this, an unscheduled call, is to head things off at the pass before your quarterly earnings come out. I think theirs come out in February, early February. February 6th, I think. If you guys can put it in the comments section, let me know if I'm right or wrong. But I think that's when it comes out. And that's because things are sitting on shelves. Players are really upset. And they're going to have to answer some questions. Now, here's what we're not going to get. You're not going to get the answers you want. Right? Guys like Rudy, I watched that video late last night. He has it right. You're not going to get the answer you want. It's going to be legalese. It's talk around talk. To smooth things out, it's going to try to placate the investors to make them feel like everything's safe and sound and they're going to fix things and get going. And they won't directly address some of the problems like production numbers, why things didn't sell, why things didn't go the way we expected them to go. I dare him to say we're price sensitive, though. I dare him to say it. Come on! Chris Cox, if you're listening, I dare you to say that we're price sensitive. Guys, this is one of those moments where we can claim victory. The score is 940 to 1. Maybe 2 if you count what happened in Chronicles, but I'll take it. And so should you. Because either way, they realized jumping from a $450 box to $1,000 is a far cry, and a randomized $1,000 box. You didn't get key cards. There was no guarantees. Still randomized, right? Gambler's premium. You can't jump from that price to that price and expect the players to accept it, and the cards aren't legal. They're not gold-plated. They were proxies. And now you're being called up to the principal's office to explain what went wrong at recess. Why things aren't working out the way you thought they would. Now, do I expect some heads to roll? No, I don't. Companies like this do have issues like this where they've misjudged the environment they're working within. They didn't get the timing right and things go wrong. Okay? And investors will understand this. It's not like Hasbro was going out of business. It's not like Wizards isn't selling any products at all. As much as we like to think we put them at a stalemate, they have a large array of IPs they can draw upon. And I got to admit that Beast Wars promo, I've watched it so many times. It looks so good. I know, back on topic here. Stay on topic, Moxman. Do not get distracted because this is important. This will now set the tone. When you look at his body, hopefully it's not just like a talking thing. I hope we get some kind of video thing because I want to see the body language. You can learn a lot about body language, especially in the profession I'm in. You get a lot from facial tells, body posture, the stance. You can tell what people are doing. You can get that feel for it. And I'm looking to see how the questions are responded to. It's a lot of pre-done, watered down questions. I get that, it's all prepped for him and anyone else who steps up there to be a watered down version of the conversation, but his posture will tell a lot. His stance, his eyes, everything will give away a little bit. And that's what you have to look for and be satisfied with. Because you're not going to get what you want. But as I said at the beginning of this video, you got what you needed. Not what you wanted, but what you needed. And that is a win. A victory for the player base of Magic the Gathering. The community did come together. And they did slap you in the face with our wallets and say no. And now you're getting called out for it. And you got to own up to that. And you're going to have to correct things. Which means a lot of the earlier conversations we've had about what to expect when this happened. I told you guys in the PR video, this would be coming. Maybe not an apology, but we're going to have that kind of conversation where some PR group has now coached them to say the right things. I bet you we're going to see some kind of warning about a halt on profits. That maybe doubling our profit margins by another, 50% in so many years is not quite achievable in the new world economic climate that we're dealing in right now. That because of the economic shift around the globe, maybe our sights were set a little too high on the profits we were expecting. Maybe we were being a little too boisterous. Whatever language they want to use, they're going to say we're not going to make the margins we said we were. Maybe we're being too aggressive too quickly. We may have to throttle back some of our planned expansions. Guys, it's a win. And I really hope we're going to hear some of that language in the conversation on that conference call. It's just my opinion, guys. It's just my opinion, but I'm taking this as a win. And if you don't think it's a win, that's up to you. Fine and dandy, I understand. Boomstick, I get it. I don't always agree with everything that people say inside my comment sections, but I like to read it and know where you're coming from. You don't shut the door on people, you listen. And Wizards and Hasbro shut the door for a very long time, and now they have to listen. They don't have a choice. Remember, they've been called to the principal's office during recess, no less. Oh, horrible time for them. Can't wait to see that posture. Can't wait to see how things go. And yes, I'll probably have a video out the next day. Even though it's a card watch day, I'll probably have to have an extra video out because this is going to be too good to pass up. And you know everyone else is going to be talking about it too. The tone, everything's going to be awesome. But expect to see some kind of throttling back. Not going to meet the projections. Probably going to expand out instead of 3, 5, 7 years. They're going to let things sit for a while. They're going to maybe say there's been a freeze on logistics pricing. Maybe all of a sudden price increases aren't going to happen the way they thought they were. I think we're in for it. And after seeing the stuff going on with Dominaria Remastered as well, because late, I guess this is coming out on Wednesday, so late Tuesday night when I'm filming this, after work, I also get that a whole bunch of cards came out for remastered, right? I saw a little bit at work. People were talking about it on my break. And I took a look. And I'm like, oh, okay. A lot of reprints. Reprints on top of reprints on top of reprints. And it's not that they're not good, but it just waters down the market that much more. So anyone who owned these cards for 80, 90 bucks for like Vampire Tutor and stuff, this is going to floor some of these cards out to the $20, $30 bin or less. So I get it. It doesn't mean it's not going to be a fun draftable set though, guys. But again, I think it proves my point about those collector boxes definitely not being a target to go after because there's nothing special inside worth hanging up 500 bucks for. Sorry, $475 Canadian, I guess 300 and change US. It's really something I find fascinating to watch this all unfold. Because as fun as Dominator Remastered is going to be, reprints are reprints. It only goes so far. Diluted waters are still diluted waters. So be warned. Wait for the prices to fall. Pick up the cards you need. And all that while we're talking about that, I'm still thinking about Chris Cox, Hasbro Wizards, and what's going on. Because this isn't over. Not by a long shot. It's like every day they're just giving you free content to talk about. And get mad and upset about. And then get privately a little bit happy about because the players actually won. So good for you out there, guys. Good for you, the players. You deserve a pat on the back here. We really do. I want to see what you guys think about this in the comment section. Don't be shy. Unload. Let me know what's gone out there because it matters. We got to keep our voices being heard so when maybe the odd employee from Hasbro Wizards reads these comments, they get a better idea of what you, the player, expect from them. You are their customer, after all. And the customer this time is always right. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Thanks for being here on the channel. And I look forward to seeing those comments. And of course, another video tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. Looking forward to it. Have a great night, everyone. MTG Moxman, and I'm out of here. All right, guys. Come on. Big shout out to all the fantastic patrons on my channel. Guys, you are the supporters, the backing that makes everything happen. Thanks again to each and every one of you.